with me starting like almost a decade ago, they were really, really ruthless. Like if you did not answer the phone with yamaseyo, like the native Korean language, they would literally hang up on you.
The myth is she just stalling so she could charge you. No, I'm trying to keep your hair on your head.
If I have to turn my head like this to read your packaging, I'm not gonna buy it.
When you come in, stop coming in and telling us how much to sell our stuff for.
Everyone says their hair is 4C because they're affiliated with difficulty.
The US has terrible regulations for cosmetics. Black women historically have these issues with fibroids and uterine problems, and we're trusting you, and now you're putting chemicals in it?
We decided to create a show that would give consumers that behind the scenes of what Black-owned beauty supply store owners go through, what Black-owned brands, Black-owned salons go through, to have a conversation with experts in the field, helping Black entrepreneurs break into the beauty supply industry. Let's jump into the world of Black beauty. I'm your host, Janice the Retail Genius, and today my guests, Donna and Aurelie, we're here continuing the conversation about being a Black-owned beauty supply store. So ladies, let's now talk about getting started and the funding aspect of opening your beauty supply. So let's talk about how you guys were able to obtain the funding to open your beauty supply store. Let's start with you, Donna.
So what I did was, because I decided that I am going to walk away from my corporate job, I decided to take a loan out my 401k, and I applied for a loan with a bank, and they told me that over $25,000 I would need a business plan. So actually, when I get the software, start to do my business plan, I said, you know what, forget it. Let me take it under $25,000 so I don't have to do this. So I literally went to the $20,000. So I applied for it, and like 2 days later, they called me and it was approved. So I got the $20,000 for that. And the good thing about it, the banker was so nice. He said, this is what I'll do for you. I won't disburse all your funds, so you'll start paying interest. It's not a line, but I'll allow you to take it in portions as you need it, and then it will save you on the interest. So I did that. Then I applied for American Express, and I got a $22,000 limit, and that's what I used. So I used the $22,000, the $20,000 loan, and like $9,000 from my 401k. I know once I start like buying my fixtures, I'm like, oh my God, the money's about to run out. I know that it wasn't a lot, but then when it comes to the inventory, I was able to buy less and make it look like I have a full store.
So if you were to start over, would you still go with the same funding plan?
Well, I probably would, because it was easily accessible. If it's the same route, I probably would. You know, if I don't have like all the money sitting there cash, I probably would do the same thing.
Yeah, I did also the same thing. So when I got started, I actually had no idea how much it was going to cost. So I also tapped into my 401k, which I tell people all the time was like a big mistake for me because of the taxes. And I was only 24 years old, so I didn't even have much to begin with. But for me, I feel like if I had the opportunity to start all over again, I definitely would just go straight to the loan just to get everything that I need for the store and to just pay that money back without any tax ramifications. How about you, Aurelie?
So in my case as well, because I knew this industry was very expensive, I decided to go with partners. So it was self-funded, definitely self-funded. We put the money together and were able to start the business with the money that we raised. It was money from 401k. I took some money out of my 401k, and my partner did the same. And so that's how we were able to fund the business. And also because, again, I had a bigger vision for the business. I've seen where people said that they started with $10,000. I don't know how they were able to do it, because even with $60,000, it was not enough. It's a very expensive business. So, and the advice I would give anybody who's trying to get into the industry is make sure you have the money, because it is a very expensive business to get into. So, yeah.
So I'm glad you mentioned the fact that you had a partner, because that's one of the biggest questions I get from people wanting to open beauty supply stores, is whether or not they should do it alone or have a partner. And so, Donna, did you have any investors or outside partners when you got started with your store?
No, I didn't have any investors or outside partners. I was just thinking that this is the next journey in my life. I didn't really want to start with a partner, and I just didn't want any issues. And number one, for me, it was like on-the-job training. I just like take a leap of faith into this thing. I have no clue what I was doing as far as the beauty industry. So I figured that let me travel this journey alone. You know, my boys was there with me all along. So I didn't think about a partner. I just run. I didn't.
Yeah, I think for me, if I had the opportunity to have a partner, I think that would have been a route that I would have explored, because I think, especially in our community, we like to do things alone. And like Aurelie said, we can go bigger, we can go farther when we have partnerships. So talk a little bit more about how it was having a partner and starting your store.
So far it's been great, and if I had to start over, I would definitely not do this alone, because that's how you end up with the burnout very quickly.
Yeah,
a lot of people that start this on their own, you know, you're all excited.
You're working
the first,
7 days
second
a
year,
week.
After that,
10 hours a day,
are
just
burned
sign up for
out,
another
and you're
job.
ready to close because you need the help. You can't do this alone. It's really, really done. I don't know how you did it, but you definitely hats off to you. But it is a very difficult, only because there's so many challenges that you have to face. So when you have partners, you're able to, kind of, support each other, encourage each other, right? So if you have a difficult day, you can talk about it.
It's like a marriage.
It is a marriage, definitely. So partnership is a marriage. So if you're not ready to partner, to have another husband or wife, it's definitely not for you. So, but for me, that was the route that I thought was going to be best for what I had envisioned. Yeah, so partnership definitely will start. If I have to start over, I will do it again. I can't do this alone. It's just too much work. Yeah.
So let's talk about when you guys first opened and the initial response from the community and the support. So talk a little bit about how the support was for you. Did you feel supported? Did you not feel supported from the community?
Yeah, for me, well, I'm going to start this time. Sorry. The community, the support was amazing. Community was just so happy to finally have a place where they have people that look like them. I mean, they will walk into the store. The first question is this black owned? Like, they're looking to see if they're going to find somebody not black.
Behind the counter.
Yes, behind the counter. And so once he said it was black owned, they would be dancing, praying, and I mean, really excited.
Yeah.
So that was very encouraging to see that, it was definitely needed in the community and that we're doing the right thing. So, definitely the support was there.
Awesome. How about you, Donna?
For me, the support was there, and because of the area that I live in, it was, I had to be very strategic in doing this. And the first thing is naming of the store. So coming from New York City, where in New York City, like there's so many beauty supply stores on the block, you can find it. In my area, it wasn't. So it's my son that says, "Mommy, I think you should name it Big Apple Beauty Supply," because once people see that name, they're going to know that it's a black person own it, and they can find all their beauty supply products.
Right.
So once I put my sign out and I start putting flyer up around town, and then for my grand opening, I joined the chamber so I could get my ribbon cutting ceremony, and I go to different churches, like the few black churches that's in my area, and that helped me with the launch and bring awareness that I was there. So I actually connected with the community from day one. So I made sure I positioned myself to know that I'm there and I'm black, owning a beauty supply store, and we got just about everything that they need.
That's awesome. So we talked about the support, the positive support from the community. So let's pivot a little bit and talk about some moments where you may not have felt as supported from your community.
I would say is the lack of support sometimes come with actual pricing, how much customer wants to pay for the product. As you were mentioning about the discount, not everyone does it though.
Right.
They will come in and want for you to sell them the product for whatever they think they want to pay for it. And for me, it bothers me a lot. Sometimes, honestly, I get irritated because I'm thinking that when you go to Mr. Chin, if he said it's for $10, you pick out the money and you buy it. You know what I'm saying? You pay for whatever they have, but you come to a store and you always want us to sell it for nothing. And sometimes, I have an experience one time, the lady was asking me, it was like a bleach or something, and my bleach was $3. Do you know your price is high? Like, okay, that's my
Wow.
price. Do you want it? Because I'm not going to explain to you how much I pay for it, where I pay for it.
Right.
Because if you go to Sally's that sells it for $5, you're going to buy it if you go somewhere else. So I think that part of it is when our people come in our store thinking it's a dollar store, you know, and it's not a dollar store. We're there like bringing what they need, save them time on Amazon to get it the next day,
Right.
Saving them some gas money to drive wherever they have to go to get it. So it bothers me a lot when they're trying to like come in for the free 99. And
Right.
that's when I don't feel the support is with pricing.
Well, in our case, pricing also has a lot to do with the lack of support. You have people that come in that want to ask for discount or think that your price is very high. And also, you have people that have come in and looked at our braiding hair section and say, oh, is this all the braiding hair you have? And I'm looking at the wall, I see all colors, all length and all that, you know, so really making you feel like, you know, you're not really doing much when you know how difficult or where you've, you know, how far you've come to be able to fill up the wall. And so just some negative stuff, you know, they come in, they buy the things. We have our return policies or on the receipt, we have it posted everywhere on the store. And so they will get the stuff, they will leave, and they'll come back a month later and want to exchange because they just don't want to use the product anymore. And we tell them, no, it doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, our return policy is there's all sales are final. And so they catch an attitude when you tell them that. Just things that they wouldn't do. With the other beauty supply store, they'll come in here. One of our things that we pride ourselves with providing quality product to our customers. So of course the price point is a bit high because of the quality of the product. And so originally when we first started, we were only carrying virgin human hair, good quality human hair. And we realized that some folks wanted something that was a little cheaper. So we had to kind of change and add those things just so that we can, you know, meet the demand. And so they will come in, they want the quality stuff, but they don't want to pay the quality price. And then when you show them what is within their budget, they get mad because they want the quality stuff, you know. So those are kind of the things that, you know, you feel like, oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong?
It's the dark side of business.
Yes, definitely. So, you know, they don't trust you to have the good stuff. And so when you give,
that's a good
so
one too.
when you give them the price, like, why is it so expensive? Mr. Lee sells it for much cheaper, but I'm like, oh, Mr. Lee's quality is not the same quality.
Not the same quality.
He doesn't use the product, so he can sell you anything, and you would think it's human hair. Human hair, especially, is where we have a lot of issues because they want the human hair, but they don't want to pay the price for real human hair, right? So we spend a lot of time educating folks again and letting them know that they can trust us. We use this product. We won't sell them just anything, just to make the money, which is what Mr. Lee does. And so there are some things that we even refuse to carry because for us, we don't think it makes sense to carry those things. So
that's good.
Yeah.
I think for me, one of the biggest things that really annoyed me was the theft. And where I was in New York City, I experienced quite a few incidents. And I was younger back then, so I was willing to fight people over my stuff. But it really bothered me that they would want to come and steal from a Black-owned beauty supply store. How do you guys feel about that?
Listen, it's horrible. Like I have, my first store had 16 cameras. The other one have 24 cameras. But it's like it doesn't even help. I've called police to the store. I've had people arrested. You know, like, and when you're stealing those, it just drains your energy to see that.
For me, it just made me feel so sad.
Yeah, that are
like
own
you know,
like,
I built this store. You know, I put my money into this. Why are you coming to steal from me? Not that I want them to steal from Mr. Lee, but it's just like it's the betrayal of it for me. Yeah.
But they don't realize they're tearing down their own community.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
and that's the problem with that. Like I would rather you come to my store and you short the dollar and just tell me, I'll just put $1 to the product. But when they start stealing, or they have their kids stealing and turning their back, like who does that?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of theft. That's why we have to invest money in like stop locks and do stuff like that, and to put the gate. And you don't want it to look like
you don't want to go to that, because now your store looks like the other stores where everything is locked up, and it's like, so what do you do?
Yeah.
What are your choices?
Yeah. So in our case, we were very strategic. We thought about that, and so we're very strategic with our layout. As you can see, it's very open. We can definitely see things. So we experienced one, that incident, and shockingly enough, it was not a black person. It was a Caucasian lady who came in here and thought she could just get away with, getting some stuff. But but she was also, she looked like a drug addict or something like that. So we had to call the police on that, and that was really one of the incidents that we experienced of somebody shoplifting in this area. But other than that, I mean, we have cameras. It's pretty open space.
So if you could let our viewers know one thing about how they can actually support a Black-owned business, what would that one thing be, or one way?
For us, it's just come in and support by buying the product, and also helping us spread the word. Word of mouth. I think when we first started, it was Google. We would get most of our customers through Google, but now it's mostly word of mouth. So we have customers that come in here and they're so excited, they like the space, and they talk about it to their friends, their family, and so that's how they spread the word. So definitely word of mouth helping us put our names out there. It's going to be a great support.
I would say once you buy something from our stores, like people put a lot out there, just go ahead and say, hey, I just supported a Black-owned beauty supply store. Do you know there's a Black-owned beauty supply store in this area? And look what they have. Take the pictures, post it, do stuff like that. Just come in, support us. Don't ask for like discount. Just make make your purchase, and recommend our stores to other. And if you are a business owner also, like from one business to the next, you can say, what, there's a beauty supply store out there. If you're a salon, like go to the beauty supply store. You guys can actually work together, like tell your customers, what, you want to get your hair, there's a beauty supply store down there, and vice versa. Like when they, like for me, what I do is, especially when new salons come in my area, the first thing I do, if I drive and I see it, I stop and ask them for their business card and introduce myself, and I take their card. So when customers come to the store, they said, where can I find a braider? Where can I find so-and-so? I have a whole bunch of cards. I said, listen, these are the salons that I know in the area. You just have to call them yourself, check their prices, their service, and everything. And I think that from business to business, we can also put the words out the same way that customers can do.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that you sort of brought up the impact that it has on the community when you actually support a Black-owned business, because I'm always talking about the impact, the positive impacts that the community has when its Black consumers can support the Black-owned business. So let's talk a little bit about the outcomes and the positive impact that the community has when a Black-owned business gets supported.
So for me, like when we get support from our community, when they come and purchase from us, it gives us opportunity to give back to them.
Absolutely.
Me, I'm very passionate about giving. I have my nonprofit organization. So one way I've connected with my community, and I think it has helped me create longevity in the industry, I give back to my community. I have so many different giving back initiatives. That's why when my customers come to the store, they're like, oh my God, I have to go to Donna's store because she always gives back. Because they know that every year they're going to get their book bags, they're going to get their turkey, they're going to get their prom dress if they can't afford it, like stuff like that. So I made sure I positioned myself not for them just to see me, oh, she's getting all my money. You know what I'm saying?
That's how they really
right.
think sometimes.
Or if you go somewhere and you dressed up, they're looking at you from head to toe like, that's my
Right,
money.
right.
And honestly, your $2 bread in here didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So what I usually do is make sure that they don't see me as one black person getting their money to get rich.
Right.
I give back to my community in different ways. And what that does is it helps you stay there. More and more people will come back. You'll get referral, because I have customers that moved to my area, said, oh my God, so-and-so told me about you. And they said, oh, you know, when you come to your store, you have, the atmosphere is nice. You always do stuff for the community. And that's what I like. And that's where I'm going to spend my money.
And so for you, how does the positive support help the business and help the community?
So the positive support is going to help us, you know, even create jobs for the community.
Jobs, absolutely.
So that's the number one thing, and also give back, like Donna said. The point here is really not to get rich quickly, like the people think. We're here to make money, and no, we're here to provide an environment and the product that we all use. And to educate our people about, or help them with their concerns, because we do have a lot of issues with hair, with anything, pretty much skin, and so we have all the products, and because we use the product, we can definitely better advise them on, you know, and help them with their issues. So the support, consistent support for sure, because we had a moment where, you know, during the Black Lives Matter movement,
Right.
You know, where people were intentional about supporting
were
black
intentional,
people.
yeah.
We had people that would drive an hour and a half just to come support us, and that felt very good. You know, we're happy to see that people were really, you know, now turning into understanding that it is important to support black-owned businesses. But then that went away. I mean, people went back to the, you know, regular, you know, habits of just going anywhere, you know, to the Asian to buy the stuff.
Right.
So, you know, having that consistent support is really going to help us stay open, because we have a lot of stores that close only because of the lack of support. And so we have that. We also need support from the stylists, the braiders.
Yes.
We have so many issues with the stylists that just use one particular brand of hair to braid, right? So they send customers over here to buy the product, and if you don't carry that brand, they don't buy, because the stylist told them this is the only brand I use. So the stylist can also help us, you know, by being a bit more flexible, right? Because braiding hair, most of these hair are sourced from the same place, right? So they may be packaged differently, but they also be a bit flexible. So that will help us also be able to be successful in what we do, because again, getting those accounts is very difficult. And so the ones that you have, and if you're not able to sell them because the stylist doesn't use what you have, it makes it very difficult to for you to stay in business.
Thank you so much, ladies, for this conversation. It was awesome. Thank you so much to our viewers for watching, and stay tuned for our next episode as we dig deeper into the world of Black beauty.
The Convo, your home for conversations on Black entrepreneurship and wealth, available on your favorite platforms.